everybody. Here's Sebastian from Destination Eurovision. With me, Roxy.
Hey.
And with us, one and only Switzerland choice for Eurovision 2020 and 2021, Gjon Tears. Hello, Gjon.
Hello. Thanks for inviting me. I'm super happy to be here.
Thank you so much for having time for us, because you're going to be super busy in the next 4 days. So we really appreciate that. We are really happy to have you with us. And Gjon, for the start of our conversation, let's take a walk down memory lane. Your artistic name was born when you were 9 years old. You sang Elvis Presley Can't Help Falling in Love to your grandpa, and the tears of emotions appeared on his face. My question is, from a time perspective, how important that moment was for you, and to l'univers also make him that emotional?
Of course, I mean, it was really important because that was the first reaction I got from someone when I was singing. So for me, it was really important. And that was even more important because it was my grandfather, and he was born and raised, and I mean, me too, in an education in which you shouldn't show your emotions and you should keep it for you. So when I saw him cry, yeah, I mean, it was like it's weird because still now it looks like it was yesterday, and that's why I wanted to keep that in my stage name, because for me it was the real moment I knew that I could do something with my voice. Now when that's cool also, because when I'm showing him my songs, or the songs that I'm preparing, he always has the same reaction. I mean, he's not always crying, but sometimes when it's an sometimes when it's an emotional song, he can cry, and it reminds me that I have still that superpower. I'm trying to keep it.
Okay, tell us, was music always your main passion, or do you have also the other hobbies somewhere else, something different you like to do in your free time?
Before, I think I mean, music always was my passion, but since 2 years or 1 years and a half, I said to myself, okay, it's super good to have music, but now just try to have also other things. And then I think that, I mean, now for me, I'm making music passionately, but for me, it's not my passion. It became my work. And for me, that's not the same. Because when you understand that it's not just like, hey, for pleasure, it's also a business, and you have to understand that. I mean, you have to understand, for example, what is a radio, how to speak with people like we're doing each other. I mean, it's a lot of exercises and a lot of things to think of, and so for me, it became really my work and not my passion. I mean, as I said, I'm doing it passionately, but I mean, when you're starting to I mean, when you're starting, for example, to be paid because you're making concert, for me, it cannot be a passion, because, like, like there is that industry that is involved with that. But yeah, I still love a lot, of course, music. Otherwise, I will not do music. But I have other passion, of course. So and I think my biggest passion is now is cinema. I love movies, like, for real. And I'm watching a movie, I think every night, one movie per night, like since 1 year, 1 year and a half, something like this, because I really like movies. And I think it became because I received so many promises in the music industry that were never that had never happened, that I started to believe more into images than to words. So that's why I love movies. I also love to go to the museum so I can see paintings, and from like, there's not just one type of paintings that I like. I really like the story of the paintings too.
Amazing. And are you still have this habit to change every 3 months something in your room? Because you mentioned it in the other interview that you really like because of your love to
Yeah,
the art and to the pictures and everything was connected with. It's still going on?
yeah, completely. Less now because I really have less time, and also normally I used to paint this wall every 6 months, and this one every year. So normally I always do something. Now it's everything white because it was like Mondrian here and blue here. But yeah, I mean I like to change the house and to change. I think I'm a really instinctive person because I get bored really easily. So I need to change all the time everything, but I don't have so much time to do that now. And also I have other plans. I mean, I'm not so at home those times because I'm signed in a French label, so I had to do a lot of train trip to Paris and to my place, like because we are planning things for album, for for collaboration, for my other projects. So um, I'm still really working a lot. So I like to change everything here when I'm a lot here, but now I'm really less here. So I didn't have really time to change everything.
Yeah, sure. You are a busy guy. Nobody can deny that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
now especially now.
Eurovision
Yeah.
magic. And speaking of the changes, because you will go through many talent shows in your life, so you are a seasoned veterano in this case, I would like to come back a little bit to this thing. Uh, First, 3 years after your name, Gjon Tears, was set up, quite honestly, you become a participant of Albania's Got Talent. You were there third. 1 year later, the Grusten Schweizer Talent and very good result, reaching semi-final. How do you remember being part of these TV formats? They are a valuable source for you of knowledge about TV, about performance. How you reminiscent that?
That's funny because I mean, when people ask me that, it's always like, I mean, when it's journalists, they are like, yeah, so you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. Okay, you did a lot of TV shows. Why? And like, it's always funny because I mean, it was just life. First, my grandfather told me, I want you to show. I mean, he told me, I want you to show to people what you are able to, and I want people to hear your voice because I mean they deserve that, and you deserve this. And I was like, okay. I thought when he told me about the TV show, I thought, okay, my grandfather just like just became mad. I was like, no, he's just making jokes. And no, and the next year actually he came to my house and he told me, okay, you have 1 week to 1 or 2 weeks to organize like a song because you're gonna sing in a TV show. And I was like, what? Why didn't you tell me earlier? And you should imagine that when I sang for him, I didn't start from like the next day to work every day. Of course, it was just like I sang for him and I was like, okay, wow, okay, maybe I should try to sing again. Maybe I should try, but what to sing? Okay, so I had a lot of doubts. I mean, I knew that I wanted to do that, but I didn't know how because I was young and I didn't have anyone to help me um, to find a direction. Like when you are so young, you cannot really make lessons of singing because when you are a boy, your voice is gonna change. So like if you're doing a lot of exercises and especially technical stuff with your body, then you have to relearn everything after your voice change. So there are a lot of teachers that says, no, I cannot teach you now. Come to me when you will be 14, 15, it depends. So I was just like doubting and I was not working every day. So you have to imagine that when he's telling me that, I was like, oh my God, like for me, it was like a second time of singing. And so I think of that first TV show in Albania, and it was just like as someone who was invited, like I was just a guest of the show, the unknown guest. They were like, "Who is this?" little boy. And actually, that was a show with a lot of children, and every weeks they were singing songs. I mean, there were everyone was in a in a house, and they were rehearsing every day, and just one time a week they were singing, and that and like the best child of the week won a trophy, and every week is another trophy, another person, and the kid that has the most trophy won the season of that show. Anyway, and I was just like once here, like as a guest, and it was really special because as the first TV experience, I was so scared. I mean, not just on stage, because I mean, just the TV stuff, because you know, first souvenir I have is like I was in the bus with all of those children, and they were all speaking 5 languages. They were 8 years old, like me, you know, and they were speaking like because they were learning every day English, Russian, of course Albanian, and Arab. I don't know how do you say that.
Arabic or something like
Yeah,
that.
Arabic. Sorry,
Yeah.
Arabic and Italian, because the producer was Italian.
Oh.
And you know, it was crazy. I was like, oh my god, it looks like they are all robots, and they could see their family just 2 hours on Sunday. And I was like, okay, but so you're not seeing your family all the week? No. I was like, okay. For me, it was kind of special because I was just at school like every normal kids. And for me, as I said, it was my first TV experience. I was like, okay, and are you happy? Yeah, yeah, because I have to work now. And they were so like focused on the work. And I'm so happy that I directly see that it was strange and that I didn't want that. I was like, okay, if it's this TV, I don't want that at all. And then uh, Albanians Got Talent the next year saw me on in that show, and they asked me, "Hey, we are making the first season of Albanians Got Talent. Would you like to join and to make the TV show?" And I was like, I didn't have so much a good experience last time, so I don't know if I should do that. And then my family just told me, you should go because it's just like for fun, and if you like, you will see, and if you don't like it, then you will just stop it, and you know. And I said, okay, let's just try. I was there, and it was a complete different experience. It was so cool. I mean, the production was really cool. The people, the other contestants were really cool. And it was in a big arena, not arena, but in a big place. I mean, with a lot of audience. So it was so impressive to see that, because that first TV show as a guest, they were just like, of course it's a lot, but they were just like 100 person. And in the other one, there were maybe 1,000 or something like this. So I was so impressed to see all like those people, like, you know, like in America's Got Talent, they always have an audience or something like this. It was quite the same. They also have an audience in Albanians Got Talent. So I was really impressed to see all those people. And when I did that TV show, I finished at the 3rd place. And then Switzerland saw me in that show. So they called me, hey, come on, do it in, no, first France. Hey, come on, do it in France. So I said, okay, let's do that. I went in France, and then Switzerland, hey, come in Switzerland. We saw you in France. So, and that's how, I mean, that's how I did it. I wasn't like, I should do the most as possible TV shows. Let's go. It was more like, okay, it's an occasion. Why not? Okay, they're asking me. Okay, let's go. And then after Swiss Got Talent, they asked me in France again a lot of TV shows, and I said, okay, no, now I just focus on my studies. I should stop. And I was 12 or 13 at that time, and I said, okay, no, I just have to stop and to continue my studies and to know also what do I want to do for music, because you know at that time I was trying to impress Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, because my grandfather told me, yeah, you should learn by those big voices, and also because I had a high voice. So I always like listen to Celine Dion and try to make the same, and listen to Whitney Houston and try to make the. I mean, I always do. I always did that process because I mean that's how I thought I should do. And so I said at 13 years old, 12, 13 years old, I said, okay, now I try to imitate, I mean, to impress, to make impressing of other artists. Now I should just try to be myself and to find who I am musically, because I didn't know. And so that's why I also tried to, I mean, that was the beginning of not everything, but almost, I mean, at that moment, I also start classical music. I mean, classical lessons for singing. Uh, I also really discover a lot of artists, and yeah, and I also started to compose.
Nice. And now it's time for a few memories from The Voice. Tell me, what was the reason that you chose the team Mika then?
So, as I explained you, from 13 years old to 18 years old, I decided to take my time and to really know like 5, 6 years of asking myself about what I want to do. And I think that at that moment I didn't really sing. I mean, I didn't do any concert or anything. I was really like focusing on my yeah, on what I want to do. And when I arrived at I mean, when I had 18 years old, um, I decided to understand what was music in Switzerland. So I take part in an academy. And one year, I mean, the last concert of that academy, my mother um, made a video of my song Babi, and she sent it to the TV production in France without telling me. And then they called me directly, and they saying, hey, they said, hey, hello, it's like the production of The Voice in France. I was like, hello, what's happening? And they told me, yeah, we are really interested to have you in our show. And I said, okay, and then thank you. And I was so doubting. I was like, should I do that? Should I not do that? I was so frustrated because also it was a special moment in my life. I mean, a really weird moment in my life. And so I was like, I don't know if I should do that. And finally I said, okay. I mean, I think one of the comment um, who really made me think of the participation of that show was one of the production told me, hey, I saw you on the list that you're maybe gonna do the casting of The Voice. I saw you before, but I never asked you because I didn't think you were the kind of guy to make The Voice. And I was like, the kind of guy to make The Voice. And I was like, I'm just the kind of guy that who wants to go like as far as I can, and as much as I can respect myself. I don't care about the format, about if it's a show, if it's a festival, if it's a radio contest, if it's a, but I just want to go as far as I can. And the most important thing for me is to show to people, to show my music. So I was so frustrated to hear that maybe some people have seen me, but they didn't try to get touch in with me, because they were like, no, he will not do that. And I was, like, and I was like, no, I'm the kind of guy who wants to go as far as I can. So I said, I want to do that. I was doubting also because, I found my band in that academy, and I didn't want to lose our good relation together. And I thought maybe if I do something alone, they will say, hey, you forgot us. And they were like, go, just go, we are behind you. So it was so cool. And so I did the voice. And why Mika? Because that was a good question. Because every jury spoke for 2 or 3 minutes, and he spoke for 15 minutes. And even the production has told him, yeah, now you have to stop. We have other people that they have to make the blind audition, Mika. And I mean, I saw that I have inspired him so much things. Like he was like, oh, and we can make this, and we can make this, and I can take you, and we can go this, and we can make this together, and you know that. I mean, I saw so much. Uh, yeah, he had so much idea. That's what I mean when I say inspiration. He had so much ideas for me that I said, okay, maybe that's the one I should choose. And because at the beginning I was doubting, but I mean, when he told me all of those things, and also he told me some references that really spoke to me, and I said, okay, he knows what I want, and like the word that I want to, like musically, my word.
Did you learn something special from Mika then in the TV show?
So you need to know that it's a TV show. So of course it's a TV. So at that time he was making X Factor in Italy and also his album. So he was so busy and he didn't really have time so we could have a great conversation, you know. But still I'm happy that I chose him because um, he make me understand things like what is to be a TV person or what is to be a singer. No, like like yeah, I learned a lot of things with the voice, and I'm so happy that I did the voice. I mean, it doesn't matter if I was, at least it's just a contest, so it doesn't matter if I'm in Mika's team or in another team. The context, like the the voice is like, it's so much experience because it's how to understand cameras, working with a creative director. For example, one of the creative director was the one choreographer for Madonna. The vocal coach we had, because of course we have the coach for TV, but we also have vocal coach behind the shows, because normally the TV coach are singers. They are not necessarily vocal coach too. It's another work. So we had a crazy vocal coach. One, for example, of them was working with Mariah Carey, with Beyonce, with, so it was like with Aretha Franklin. So we were like, you know, we had so many crazy people from this world, and so many talented people to work with us, that I'm so glad that I did that show, because it was for me like a slap of 10 years of experience, you know, because yeah, all of those people that had a lot of experiences, also working, how it is to work in live, how it is to work in recorded, because the blind auditions are recorded and then the live are live, of course. So you know, like all of those things together made it so cool and made it like a crazy thing.
For sure, for sure. And your journey to meet you bit better before the Eurovision, which started last year, take us also to song which you mentioned before, so Babi, which you sang 100% in Albanian. And my question is, can you share with us a little bit story about this song, a message of it? And are you having in mind to make more music in Albania?
So when I compose a music, I compose a music about someone. That's like someone, like the people inspires me the most. And sometimes movies. I mean, but the most inspiration comes from people for me. So that's why, for example, when we had to stay at home, and because of the quarantine, I mean, because of the first wave, Corona wave, I wasn't inspired at all, because when I mean, I can compose when I can see and meet people. I would love to go, like, that's why, I mean, I'm a really active person. I like to go into the cinema, into restaurant, into a lot of things, so I can really see people. Sometimes, you know, you're just sitting and you see someone alone, eating alone, and like, I mean, it could really touch you deeply, and you're thinking, I mean, and that's all that process that inspires me. So when I did uh, uh, so when I did Babi, I was thinking about like Albanian music. I asked my grandmother, hey, what kind of music do you listen to in Albania? Like from the mountain, something really popular, not popular, traditional, I mean. And she told me, yeah, I can show you this. And I heard those voices that, like, like Bulgarian voices. We had kind of same voices, and I was like so in love with that story behind that voice that I wanted to create something. So that's why I did Babi, and so I also I I also like collaboration, especially for writing lyrics, because it's always hard for me to write lyrics because I'm having so much the person who inspired me to write the song. Then when I'm trying to write something, it looks like I'm writing a letter. So I'm like, maybe I should try to. And so that's why, I mean, I did Babi alone, I wrote it alone. But so I wanted to do that song for my father. And I, but in another way, I mean, I, I, um, I wrote a story about a kid uh, who says to his father, I forgive you for all the bad things you did, because you're my father and you always be my hero. But that's not my personal story. That's just something I wanted to say, and that's why I wanted to do that song. Yeah.
The slogan of the Eurovision Song Contest is "Open Up." Tell me, what does it mean for you? Or and is this something different now than it was last year for you?
Of course, now it's like more funny to say open up, because it's like, I mean, not funny, but it's like, open the borders, open everything so we can again live our lives. So it has another dimension today. And I think for me, it's still the same quote. It's still the same as last year, because even if the situation makes us change our habits or our education, like not taking hands or those things, I think it's still the same thing. We should open up to the word and to people. But for me, it's still, I mean, if it's even more true now, because of the fact that we cannot see people. We are creating distances with people, and I'm really hoping to see that we're going to be again open, that we're going to be warm together with people again after this pandemic, because I'm just afraid that it will create distances forever. And I just don't want that. I really want that. I still want to meet people. I want to make it possible, and not just through the social media and those kind of things. So I hope, I really hope that everyone's will open up after this time.
Truly, we have also this hope. And to finalize our interview today, you are the favorites of bookies to win last year and this year too. You were on this biggest group of possibility. Fans have mostly the same feeling about you. And to justify that, our source, Destination Eurovision, has done 6 different contests in the last 2 Eurovision seasons. Some of us were done by us, editorial team, some only by the fans of Destination Eurovision. You win 3 of them, and in the next 2, you are second. So we can simply call you a champion of these games, surely, and see the big appreciation of people for you. And quite honestly, we need to meet one time more, because we need to give you these all awards, because we have lots of this for you. So hopefully it will happen one day, one time, that you will receive it from us. That's for sure. And my 2 last questions, little questions for you. Who you will give 12 points, du points, from Gjon in Eurovision 2021?
Oh my God, so much people. 12 points for Angela Peristeri, Albania. 12 points for Discotheque from the Roop. 12 points for, oh my God, for Go A with Shum. 12 points for David Freyer because he's amazing. Yeah,
Perfect.
that's in my top 5 for sure.
Amazing. Amazing. We are really hope that you have your Prada shoes the turquoise carpet.
I choose them and I'm really happy. Like it's a good invest, I'm sure. It's not every day that I'm going to be in Eurovision, so
Absolutely.
Give
Eurovision
us
is
the give us the color. Give us the color of the shoes at least.
I can't. But you will see. Can we just make a picture for my Insta?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be better. Okay. Nice.
Perfect.
Thank you for this interview.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Hopefully
you so
see
much.
you in Rotterdam in Virtual Press Center. Hopefully. We are gonna be there. So maybe
nice.
it's gonna be a chance to see with you again. Hopefully. Thank you so much, Jon. Have a great time.
I hope so. Perfect.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.